We are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on Tales of the Underworld. And yeah, let's see. So there will be spoilers for everything Star Wars leading up to and including every episode of this. And let's see. I think it's like rated ages 9 and up, so will this video be? Yeah, by the time I record and upload this, it is no longer that date here in Denmark. I don't think, I'm not the best with the whole time zone thing, but I don't think it is in America either. But yeah, happy slightly belated May the 4th. I hope it is with you. I don't think it's been with these Tales miniseries so far. I don't want to be a broken record or a downer. I am just going to note, I think this has the same problems as the first two. So, Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire, I think it's never less than competent, but it's not... I don't find them all that interesting. I don't think they're super necessary. And if they are going to tell stories like this, I just kind of wish that they would do so in the context of a larger show. Like, I thought that Asajj Ventress was much more interesting on... She did really only... Was it more than one episode of The Bad Batch? But I thought that was much more interesting, perhaps in part because of the context. The fact that it's, you know, where here, yeah, it's just not... But yeah, you know, big fan of both, well, not of their characters, obviously. They do some pretty terrible things, but I find them deeply compelling characters, both Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane. So, yeah. I mean, I think Cad Bane was probably more interesting here than he was on the Book of Boba Fett, but yeah, with both, it's just fan service. Anyway, I pretty much everything negative I have to say I said in my videos on the first two Tales miniseries. So instead, I'll try to focus on some of the stuff I liked, and yeah, you know, yeah. So we start with Asajj. You know, Quinlan puts her into the pool, noting, you know, I will always love you, which I guess makes him her bodyguard. And yeah, I appreciate they're trying to do like a tragic thing of, like, you know, at the start she loses him and he loses her, and then there at the end when she has a chance to rejoin him, she chooses not to. And yeah, yeah, I think that's also just part of it. Like, these are stories that we've seen elsewhere, and I think some of the other versions of them were significantly more compelling. Anyway, yeah. The thing of her taking care of the Jedi kid was decent enough. I liked when he, you know, she's like out of water, and he's like, "Here, take mine," and then that one's empty too. That was genuinely funny. Yeah, he's not good at hiding that he's a Jedi. The thing about, you know, actually, and, you know, about the ship. Yeah, the thing about the other bounty hunters just immediately turning on, you know, if we can't have the device thingy, then we'll go for the kid. That, you know, the kid is worth more anyway. And they did set up, you know, they said, you know, oh, it's not sad that, you know, a living being died. It's sad because the bounty was better when he was alive. So yeah, they care more about the bounty and not really about human life. So yeah, they betray, you know, it's a little bit of setup and payoff, very nicely done there. I think, yeah, I mean, I do appreciate the thing about, you know, what's the word? The thing with the raiders, you know, we are stealing their water. you know, and the thing, oh, but it's war. Yeah, but that kind of thinking just gets people killed, you know. It's an old message, but I do think we need to keep saying it until it really sinks in with enough people. I think that might just about... Yeah. Let's see. I think that's everything for the Asajj Ventress episodes. I like the tenacity of the little girl that they help, you know, the thing with, oh, this is a hunk of junk, and she's like, excuse you? And let's see. Yeah, I did appreciate the gut punch of, you know, Asajj Ventress, it's so good you're back. It's too bad we lost the war. And she's like, not what I'm trying to do here, you know. Yeah. I don't know, it gave me kind of a Xena vibe, you know, this thing of trying to run away from, or trying to redeem yourself and being reminded, don't remind me. Yeah, I think that brings us to Cad Bane. Yeah, I don't think we needed to see every single little thing, you know, oh, that's where he gets the hat, that's how he chooses his name, that's why he always has a toothpick in his mouth, you know, these things, yeah. I did appreciate, you know, I mean, maybe some young people can see this and be able to realize what they're seeing, this thing of, yeah, you know, ultimately them taking money and then a job for the guy, you know, that ends up ruining it for them. And yeah, you know, like, it's this classic, you know, kind of crime / western story, you know, the best of friends end up on opposite sides, the lawman ends up dead, and yeah, I think I really want to appreciate the revelation that Isaac is actually, you know, Cad's kid. But the decision to not, you know, and I understand where he's coming from. You know, on the one hand, Cad he's not really looking for, he doesn't want other people to join him in this life, especially, you know, and yeah, I mean, the least he could do, you know, he already killed the guy, the least he could do is let this kid, you know, not grow up to be like him, you know, and you know, at the same time, there is also the element that, you know, now he is letting his own kid grow up without a father, or the biological father, at least, after taking away the adoptive father, and, you know, yeah, even though he himself grew up without parents, you know, so, yeah, it's a nice little bittersweet thing, but the decision is made so fast, you know, and I mean, are we ever gonna see these characters particularly again? Like, I feel like if we don't, then it doesn't mean that much, and I think they could have had something more interesting if the third episode was actually the second episode could have ended with the death of the other, you know, yeah, if they mushed together episodes 2 and 3, and then the actual episode 3 was Isaac is a little older now and has to choose, you know, some kind of, yeah. Timing's also a little interesting. I mean, I don't know exactly how much they knew, you know, maybe they were hoping, maybe when they were making the show, they thought that Kamala would win. I don't know. It feels like a weird time for something so mainstream as Star Wars to be like, oh yeah, you know, Law and Order. Some people you just can't be lenient on at a time when there are mass protests against a president who is deporting U.S. citizens, you know, deporting children who are receiving cancer treatment. Yeah, I get that, you know, parts of Star Wars are essentially supposed to be like timeless. The context matters, and I get, you know, I'm not saying it's entirely possible that it would just have been impossible for them to change all of these things. Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be everything I have to say about this one. Yeah, I'm glad this is not the only animated Star Wars. I have much higher expectations of, I'm gonna say it's season 3 of Visions than I did for this. And yeah, you know, I think the first 2 seasons of Visions are infinitely better than the first 2, and also this, you know, of entries of Star Wars Tales. So yeah, I think that's it for this one. Yeah. Yeah. Hope to catch you some other time.